What is going on, guys? Thank you for joining me for today's video, and in this one I'm going to be going over my review of Modern Warfare. Now that the game has been out for almost a year, I thought it was about time that I review this game, let you guys know what my thoughts are on how this year of Call of Duty went. So getting into the video, I want to start with the positives. I'm going to go ahead and spoil this a little bit for you. I'm not very fond of Modern Warfare, so I'm going to go with the positives first before I really start going at this game. So the first thing that I want to start off with are the graphics. This game has been the best looking Call of Duty since the alpha came out up until the present, which we are in season 7 right now, the Halloween season, whatever it is. It just flat out looks fantastic. Everything from the guns to the maps, the little textures, the text, it's a 10 out of 10. Whether you like the realistic style or not, it's incredible. So going along with the graphics, the sound in this game is another positive for me. Most of the time this game sounds incredible. I really like how all the guns sound, the reloading sounds amazing. But I say sound for the most part because they did drop the ball on a couple of things. One of the things that drives me crazy in this game is the VTOL sound. Oh my god, it is so damn loud. Like when there's a VTOL up, I can't even hear my gun go off. The other place I would say that they did not do a good job with the sound is the footsteps. I mean, that's been pretty apparent since the alpha. Everybody's had a big issue with that, especially with Dead Silence not being a perk. The community was kind of pleading for them to fix it. It never really happened. When they tried to fix it, it broke the game even more. Alright, moving on, the next thing is going to be crossplay. So crossplay for me is probably the biggest positive of this game. The ability to play with any of my friends really saved this game in my opinion. You know, if you were someone that didn't really enjoy Call of Duty too much and all your friends played on a different platform than you, you're probably not going to get the game. But this year, since everyone can play with everybody, you know, you're obviously more people are going to get the game. So this is something I'm really looking forward to seeing in Cold War as well. I really enjoy being able to play with the entire community and, you know, not just people on my console. It's a little annoying when you're playing up against people on keyboard and mouse, but, you know, that's a small price to pay for crossplay. So moving on, the next thing is going to be Warzone. So I put this one on here just because of the sheer popularity of it. Personally, I'm not a fan of Battle Royale games. There's just something about it I really don't find enjoyable. To be honest, I think it's just my play style. I'm such an impatient player, and it just drives me crazy not pushing something and sitting in an area. But, you know, honestly, I think Warzone did save this game. I've watched people play multiplayer on Twitch before Warzone came out, and since that day, there's literally been nobody playing multiplayer. Everybody kind of just jumped ship right onto Warzone. It absolutely took over this game, and the fact that it's free, it makes it even that much better. So I know there's a lot of hackers in it. They're trying to fix it, but 100% Warzone saved this game. Clearly all their development went into this mode, you know, not the multiplayer, and this is what their baby was going to be. Obviously with them continuing it into Cold War, this is 100% where most of their resources went for this. Moving on, I want to move into the negatives. That's really all the positives I have to say about this game. The first and the biggest problem with this game for me is the core gameplay. Now, there are a lot of things that make up the core gameplay of a game, so I'm going to kind of break it down into some categories. The first one I have is the guns and the gunfights. Now, I know I said I like the sounds of the guns, but you know, the aspect that makes up core gameplay is the gunfights and the recoil of the guns. So from the first time I played this game in the alpha up until now, which is season 7, I just cannot stand the gunplay. The amount of recoil on the guns is absurd, and to fix it you have to figure out what 5 attachments to use on it, but there's 60 attachments for every gun. Now, not only do they have insane recoil, but the ADS is way too slow. It is so slow. Another aspect of the gunfights that I don't like is the time to kill. It shouldn't be a secret anymore that the last few COD games that had a higher time to kill benefited higher skilled players, and a lower time to kill benefits lower skilled players. You know, there's a reason for this. It's pretty simple. If you have more health, it's going to take more shots to kill you. Therefore, a higher skilled player is going to hit more shots more often than not than a bad skilled player. So it widens the skill gap. And that's really what I feel like this game was all about, is shortening that skill gap. And that's really something that I just cannot get behind. I mean, I cannot tell you how many times I've walked into a building or hallway or just something, a guy is sitting in a corner and just insta-kills me. It's not fun as a player, you know, who enjoys moving around in Call of Duty, not being able to move out of the way when somebody's camping. And going back to my other point, you can't ADS quick enough to get a shot in if they're camping like that. You know, that everything kind of combines here. The time to kill, the ADS, and honestly just the maps, which I'll get to in a second, don't you worry. All these people I've seen on Reddit and Twitter and other videos, you're telling everybody to change and adapt to the play style, and I'm just gonna give you something I've been holding on to all year. It's one big giant you. In my opinion, Black Ops 4 was miles above Modern Warfare. Modern Warfare is not even close. I would say that Black Ops 4 is faster, and it's a game that it benefits the higher skilled player. You know what? There was more than one way to play that game, and that is what makes a game good. Stop telling people that they have to play a different way to enjoy a game. The game should be balanced enough so that everyone can enjoy their playstyle. Black Ops 4 is the fastest game we have seen since the advanced movement games. But guess what? You know how many times I've been killed by campers using the radiation barrier? Sure, that game was made with higher skilled players and the competitive community in mind, but you could play it slow. You could camp, you could play tactically, you could rush, you could do whatever you wanted to do. You could never stop running. It's up to you, you choose. The game does not dictate the playstyle that you choose. So after that little rant, let's move on to something else I've been waiting all year to rant on, and that is the maps. The maps, oh my god, these maps, what even are these things? I will say the one thing that surprised me this year was the post-launch maps. When this game came out, not only did they release the least amount of maps ever on a launch day, but they were all complete They were all garbage maps. There was not one good map. I sat there and played those maps and I said to myself, man, these are atrocious. There's no way this game can get any worse than this. Then Shoot House came out and I was like, okay, this map is okay. It's not good, it's better. It's got 3 lanes. And then all the other maps came out. And my god, were they so much worse than I could have imagined. We went from horribly designed maps with weird lanes, worse than I ever could have imagined, to just these piles of buildings and doors and just stuff to head glitch and mount on. We have had some terrible maps in Call of Duty, especially in more recent years, like Gustav Cannon, USS Texas, but these terrible maps don't even compare to the atrocities that they gave us in this game. Oh my god, let's move on. I'm gonna pop a blood vessel in my head. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about, oh man, these maps, just thinking about them, it just, hurts my soul. So the next thing I want to talk about that I kind of liked but didn't like is the movement and the camera angles in this game. So let's shift a little bit, talking about the movement here. So I'm gonna shut up real quick and show you a clip on screen. And there's something that makes me really, really, really mad.
Demande ça me joue droit.
So the fact that it is someone's job to playtest this game and tell the developers what is wrong, and they still messed up the movement in the camera angles so bad that I would rather go back to advanced movement for 3 more years. Hell, I'd even go back and play f***ing Ghosts. The amount of movements you can do to break the cameras is ridiculous. If you're not a high skilled player, and you might not see this in your lobbies, but almost every CDL lobby I've played this year, almost everyone knows how to slide cancel. Everyone knows how to bunny hop. I know what some of you guys are thinking, Black Ops 4 had the slide cancel, and you're right, it did. You know something else about Black Ops 4? I could stand behind a wall and you couldn't see me, which is what's supposed to happen. So despite the fact that the Modern Warfare slide cancel is way more broken than BO4's, Modern Warfare has the most broken camera angles in a Call of Duty title. You literally can die in this game without seeing the person just because of the busted cameras. Like, oh, it doesn't even make any sense. Like, did you guys see this clip? You literally can stand behind a wall and get picked. The other person can see your whole entire body. So the movement and the cameras is just completely, utterly busted and broken in this game if you know how to do it. So the next thing I want to talk about is the updates. And I'm not gonna lie, I was happy when Infinity Ward made this switch to the Battle Pass and free DLC. I've always thought it was ridiculous that some of the pay-to-win stuff that's in there, the DLCs cost as much as the full game to get all 4 of them. And I really do think that this is a better system. You get more, bang for your buck. But the problem that arose from this throughout the year is the updates. Firstly, I want to talk about the lack of updates. So this game came out in October. It was busted from the start. 1 week before Call of Duty Champs. 1 week before a $4.5 million tournament, the biggest Call of Duty tournament the world has ever seen. They released their first update since launch that affects competitive play. What? So they had all year to make updates that the competitive community has been begging for. This is an Activision sanctioned league. This isn't the CWL privately funded MLG tournament anymore. This is the Activision series. And you know what was in that update? An MP5 nerf. That was accidental. So these idiots at Infinity Ward sent out 0 updates for the professionals that play this game. And then a week before the biggest tournament of the year, they send an update out that accidentally messes up the MP5 and CDL. And you know what? This happened all year. Every single update that the studio put out broke the game, even more than it already was. When they sent out the first update, when everyone thought they were gonna fix the footsteps, the cameras, the movements, the time to kill, everything that we were begging for, and you know what the first update did? It made footsteps louder. These stupid devs at Infinity Ward this year have utterly botched anything good that they had going for their multiplayer just by their sheer incompetence. It dumbfounds me. It honestly dumbfounds me how every single update, even a playlist update, broke the game. And that's another thing that I want to talk about is why do you take playlists out of the game? They had 3v3 snipers, they had gunfight tournaments, they had 2v2 custom classes, they had party modes. I feel like I just never got to play them. I don't understand why they come up with all these cool game modes that people like and want to play, and yet most of the updates we got for the game were playlist updates. I mean, I'm not sure if anybody else was upset about this or if this doesn't make sense to you, but it does not make sense to me. If you have these game modes, let people play them. Don't release 3 of the 10 that you have for 1 week and then rotate the other ones in. Just let us play. We paid for this game. Let us play these game modes. You came up with these cool game modes, leave them in the game. And every time they updated it, they changed it, it would break something else in the game. Oh my god. So I was going to talk about more competitive in this video, but I think I'm just going to do a separate video just because I feel like I have a lot more to talk about on that subject, due to the fact that a lot of the pros were more vocal about the issues in this game, and because they're so much better, they just absolutely ripped apart everything that was wrong with this game. They figured out every cheese. They figured out all the cheese in this game, and there was a lot of it. So anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Be sure to be on the lookout for my competitive review coming soon. I'll also be having a Cold War beta review coming soon. I've had probably about 12 hours of time on that game, so I'll be coming in with that. Make sure you guys do drop a like and subscribe. Also follow my other socials if you don't already. And peace.